Show. This is episode number 3. I'm your host and USA League Executive Director, Kai Velmer. We actually have our first guest on our show today. It's Shaun Franz with Be Your Best. Today's discussion is all about virtual reality training player development. Be Your Best is one of the USA League sponsors for this season. It'll be an interesting conversation. Again, virtual reality training. Again, a new form of player development hitting the youth soccer landscape. All right, let's get to some league news. We got our extended registration deadline coming up this Sunday, June 15th. If you have not yet done so, please register your teams by Sunday, June 15th. If you need another extension, you need more time, please send me an email at kai@usa-soccer.org. Send me an email, let me know, and obviously myself, Sherry, and Karen will work with you. Again, if you need help registering teams or you just need an extension, send me an email again, kai@usa-soccer.org. We're very excited to announce that we have 46 member clubs for the 25-26 season. That's amazing. We had 41 member clubs going into last year's season, so we're increased that by 5 clubs. Very excited, very thankful for your support. And going into this historic new season with our partner, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, as we're working really hard to kind of reimagine the league, a league that's been around for over 30 years serving this soccer community. So looking forward to writing new chapters and creating opportunities and experiences for the players and coaches in our league. First initiative, a great initiative coming up. That's a benefit of this partnership is we're going to be hosting our first Rowdies USA League Player Identification Camp on Sunday, June 22nd. So more on that to come. But again, very excited for that piece to kickstart kind of the new era of the league. All right, some other soccer news around the area. There's a lot of soccer going on this weekend. The Rowdies are hosting Miami FC this Saturday, June 14th at Allen Stadium. Kickoff is 7:30. To get your tickets, go to rowdiesoccer.com to get your tickets. They're playing at home against Miami FC. There's another game in town, a pretty big one. Same night, Saturday, June 14th. It is the USL Super League Final. The Tampa Bay Sun are taking on the Fort Lauderdale United at Riverfront Stadium at 7:30. For tickets and more information, visit tampabaysunfc.com. Again, 2 great games going on. Support both. You know, I know it's not possible to be at the same place at once, but go Sun, go Rowdies! Big game at Riverfront with the USL Super League Final against Fort Lauderdale. What else before we go into our interview? Please follow us on social media. USA League. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram under United Soccer Association. Our website is usa-soccer.org, and you can find the USA League show on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Help the show very much. Help us grow. And just like we're doing not just with our YouTube channel and this podcast, but with the league, we want to continue to grow it. We want to continue to improve it. Again, thank you for your support. And now, enjoy the interview with Shaun Franz of Be Your Best. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the USA League Show. I'm your host and Executive Director of the USA League, Kai Velmer, and with me is our guest, Shaun Franz from the Be Your Best company, which is an official partner and sponsor of the USA League. And, well, Shaun, good to have you here.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yep. You're welcome. And then just, so this show is just kind of introduced Be Your Best. I was introduced to it by Shaun. It is something unique and new to the youth soccer space for sure. It is virtual reality training. So to you explain a little bit better, I'm going to introduce you first to Shaun. Just kind of tell our listeners or whoever watching, however they consume this show, a little bit about your background in the game or where you're from and so forth, how you got to be your best, and just kind of get a little, talk a little bit about yourself so everybody gets to know you a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll try and make it a long story short, just because there's a lot I could go into. But yeah, I've been playing soccer since I was 3 years old. Grew up in the UK, so played in various different academies in the UK, and actually was lucky enough when I was 16 years old to move over to Spain and lived in Barcelona for a couple of years. Played with an academy that plays in the same leagues as Barcelona, Espanyol, and played with them for my first year, and then actually moved over to a men's league team my last year there just before going over to college. And just for context, my mom's French, my dad's American. I know you've got a similar background in terms of the European American.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically decided that I always wanted to go back to the US and pursue a college degree there, and ended up going to Skidmore College in upstate New York and played Division III soccer. And yeah, unfortunately lost out on kind of a year and a half because of the whole COVID. Them stopping, basically D3 was cut off for that junior and senior year. And yeah, from there, pursued various different avenues in terms of what I was going to do next. Really had no idea. Always wanted to get back into soccer, but actually ended up just kind of taking the first job I had, trying to make some money, pay for rent, and was working in recruitment for a little while in Amsterdam, of all places. And just recently, about 9 months ago, made the switch over and currently based in Miami, and have been working with Be Your Best for the last 8 months now.
Oh, wow. It's quite a journey. And then, hey, welcome back to the soccer world.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about Be Your Best. I know if you go to your website to Be Your Best, obviously the professional teams use this, software, right? Training software. And it is now being made available to colleges, high schools, and youth soccer clubs. So what is Be Your Best? How does it work? Just kind of give everybody kind of an explanation how this sort of training works and helps the player.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've been, since we started in 2016, that was when we were initially founded. There was a lot of research that was being done. Of course, as you can imagine, virtual reality is still a pretty new concept. Even now when I speak to people, most of the people that I speak to haven't even put a headset on. To be completely honest, I hadn't even really put a headset on before I started with Be Your Best. I had heard about it, heard about soccer training. But, within 4 short years of having the product live, we've jumped up to just over 6,000 individual subscribers, a huge portion of those being US-based. We have about 90 plus professional clubs that are working with us from 70 different countries around the world. Very short time, the team has done an incredible job in terms of expanding and really creating a product that really caters to players on all levels. So one of the biggest aspects there is the fact that we are able to not only help out the top tier professional levels, but also try and help progress the play, make players more cognitively intelligent on the youth level as well. So what we've created, and there's various facets of that in terms of, again, how we work with different clubs, but we've created a software that allows players to recreate scenarios from professional games. So we take scenarios, so short clips, about 20-second clips, from professional games, including La Liga, the Premier League, the MLS, the Champions League, the World Cup. We really just kind of strip little clips from all sorts of games, and allow players to recreate those situations and basically look directly at three different elements. So the three aspects that we look at are scanning, awareness, and decision making. And I mean, scanning has been such a huge topic. I think that we really started looking at scanning in, probably much before, but really in 2018 it started being talked about a lot with the Barcelona team, the tiki-taka play. How are they playing so quickly? How are they able to pass the ball around teams like no one's ever seen? And what we've really come up with is the fact that scanning is such an integral part of the game. And it's something that we see some teams have a huge emphasis on, and other teams just don't, whether it's the resources or the time. Time is such a huge thing. Just don't have the time to really focus on that aspect of the game. And we really do tend to look at the technical, the physical, how do our players look on the field, but sometimes aren't looking in depth enough in terms of what it looks like off the field and what it looks like in a player's brain and how quickly can they make decisions on the field.
I see. Now, so when you have the goggles on, what's the view like? Is it like, are you on the field? Are you on the pitch? Like, are you seeing it from a player's perspective, or do you see it from other perspectives overhead? Or how do I, if I put those goggles on, do I find myself, I'm on the field playing, or?
Absolutely, yeah. So you are fully on the field. You're in first person. You are the player on the field. You're the center back, the right back, the striker, whatever position it may be, the goalkeeper as well, especially since the modern game is including goalkeepers and trying to get them involved in building up the play. So we want to make sure they're involved as well. But absolutely, you are first person making those decisions. And basically what that looks like is within all of those 20-second scenarios, there's always going to be about a 10 to 12 second period before you receive the ball. So during that time, we're very specifically looking at your scanning metrics. So how many times are you checking your shoulder? Are you checking your shoulder at the correct times? So we look at scan timing as well. And one of the most important and most difficult aspects is critical scan. So can the player, when the ball is actually traveling towards them, your teammate has passed you the ball, do you have time to check your shoulder one last time and see if there's space behind you? Can I turn and play the ball forward? Or do I have a defender on my back, and do I have to just play the ball back and open up the play that way? So super important aspects there. And then, of course, once you've received the ball, unlike on the field, you're not going to be passing the ball with your foot. So we work with the hand controllers that the MetaQuest has. And with those hand controllers, you have two decisions to make. Obviously, as a center back, you have one decision to make. It's pass or shoot. So those are the options there. And what you're going to do is use the hand controllers, left or right, doesn't matter. Point at the player you want to pass to, or if you're a striker, point at the goal in the place that you want to shoot, and make your decision from there.
And let's say you make a bad pass. Does it tell you right then and there, or does it later after you're complete, you've done the exercise, it tells you if you could have improved here or there or made the wrong decision?
Both. So we have an immediate response to your decision that will let you know excellent pass, okay pass, good pass, whatever it may be. And then what you're able to do is after a training session, you will be able to go in, check all the different metrics, watch the replay, so you can actually go back and replay your scenarios and kind of critique yourself. This is also an opportunity, of course, for coaches to be able to be a little bit more hands-on, and if they have a player that is struggling at any specific aspect, they're able to go back in and discuss with the player what they could do better. Maybe it was a winger making a run and they just didn't check their shoulder fully. So trying to help go into the most deep specifics that we can in order to help players, get to that level.
Yeah. How long is a training session? Like how long is a average? session or should a player be doing like during the day?
Yeah, so it really depends. I think it depends a lot on the player, on how much time they have. We typically want our players to be using the platform twice a week for about 10 to 20 minutes per session. Anywhere between that range, they will see consistent progress. And not only progress, I think that one of the biggest questions that we get from coaches is, okay, we have a player that's been using this, they've been getting better at it, how does this reflect onto the field? And I think that's going to be any coach's question. And so what we actually did in 2023 is took a study of the U17 Germany national team. We looked at them before they even started Be Your Best at All. We looked at them on the field and had to manually watch each individual player and how many times they were scanning on the field. And so within a 9-week period, the team was training 2 to 3 times a week for about 15-20 minutes per session. So they were getting, let's say, on average, about 40 to 45 minutes per week. They were able to increase their scanning by just under 30%. So once again, on-field scanning versus just within the platform itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of our basis in terms of, again, with our college teams, we try and get them to two times a week. 15 to 20 minute sessions. With our professional teams who have even less time, some of them are able to do 3 times a week, but we really do try and emphasize the twice a week is a solid foundation for seeing progress.
Okay. And then, so the goggles obviously do not come with the software. The goggles are something you either already have at home or you need to purchase separately, correct? You guys, to Be Your Best is just the software to use it. So the goggles are not part of the package, correct? Or
That's correct. For the time being, we only sell the software. However, as we build and as we increase our database, that is going to be something that we're looking at to create a partnership with Meta as well, to be able to have players have direct access to the headsets and have everything in one total package.
Okay. So for me, coming from the youth soccer environment, having been a director of a club myself and a coach and all that good stuff, how does this work? Do I need to purchase this as a club? Can I purchase it as a team? Can I purchase it as an individual if it's just one player? Like, walk me through this. How does someone, acquire this software and use it? Like, just kind of the different steps. I would think there's different packages and so forth. Or how does that all work?
Yeah, so we have a package for all sorts of club, individual players, whether it be on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. But basically, say an individual wants to come in and just purchase it for themselves. They have 2 different options. One is to commit to the full year, and of course you're going to get a discount for committing to a full year. And the second option is just to go monthly. And basically the difference between those is $19 per month if you purchase it for the entire year, or $29 per month on a monthly basis. Now when we look at incorporating entire clubs, we of course will give a bulk discount for a club package. So say a club of 20 players wants to join. There's various different ways that they can go about that in terms of whether they will pass on the cost to the individuals or if it will be a club cost. But basically what it narrows down to is $76 per year per player on the club side. So if 20 or more players join, it will be the $76 per year, which we believe is a very affordable price, for the amount of exposure that you will get to the software.
And I guess you would only need a phone or an iPad to use this, correct?
In which sense?
Like, I mean, obviously it runs over software. So is this app-based or, like, how does this, I guess, can I use my phone to do it? Like, do I download this on my phone and then just connect the goggles and off I go? Or
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of getting set up, we have access for individuals, coaches, clubs, online. You can do this on your computer. You have access to, as a coach, you would have access to all the player data, their progressions, their metrics in terms of how they've been progressing over time. All of that is available on the phone, iPad, computer. We work with both iOS and Android, so there's no issues there. But yes, it's available on all platforms.
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, I'm very intrigued learning more about it. So, especially being a goalkeeper trainer, that it's also for goalkeeper trainer. Goalkeepers. Does it? I'm curious here on the goalkeeping end. Does it help with? Is distribution? I mean, is that obviously that built in on how does that work? Is throwing the ball out part of it, or how does that work from a goalkeeper's perspective?
Yeah. So throwing the ball out, we don't have that quite yet. That's something that we will be looking to include in the future. So for the time being, it's just passing distribution. So whether it be from a left back to the goalkeeper out to the right back to spread the play, we do try and help obviously in terms of goalkeepers not clearing the ball. So we want them to maintain possession. Yep. We want them to have their head on a swivel just as much as a center back, just as much as a right back, maybe not as much as a center mid, but really have their head on a swivel and be aware of the entire field so that they can make the appropriate decision under pressure, under stress, with the last 3 minutes of the game going, can we possess the ball rather than kick it up the field and suddenly get caught on a counter?
Well, it's pretty. I mean, like I said, I got to check this out for myself. So I think it's really unique, and just, I'm pretty sure it's helpful. Any tool you can do to maybe get a slight advantage or learn a little bit more, become more aware, especially in the decision-making part of the game, right? Especially the higher a level you go, the quicker it gets. So
absolutely.
But it's very. So how does someone get in touch with you? Email, or if you want to give out your cell phone, it's up to you.
I'm more than happy to do either.
Whatever they want. I mean, how does someone get in touch with you if they're interested to learn more about the Be Your Best?
Yeah, in terms of getting in touch with me, my email is Shaun, SHAUN, @beyourbest.com. Happy to disclose my phone number afterwards and can send that out as well. But more than happy to take a call anytime in terms of helping players, coaches, clubs get a better understanding of what the platform is, what we do, and how we can help the club out in terms of helping kind of create a foundation, especially on the youth side. And one of the biggest reasons we wanted to create this partnership is because youth is going to be the future of the game. Our youth players now are going to be the ones that we see in the World Cup, in all the top leagues within the next 5 to 10 years. So how can we help them expand their skill set even further than they currently have? How can we give them an opportunity to get a step up above everyone else? And one thing that I didn't mention previously was the fact that this is a zero-load software. At all levels, I think there's such a huge issue with injuries, with injury recovery. How can we avoid injuries? And how can players, especially the players that want to get on the field more, that want to do better, that want to have the opportunity to get an extra training session in, but just don't have the physical capability to get back on the field. This is truly an opportunity for them to add to their training session. They go out on a Wednesday night and train for an hour and a half. Now I can go home. I have a game coming up on Saturday, and I can train for another 15 to 20 minutes on core aspects of the game, which again are scanning, awareness, and decision making. So really incorporating that zero load piece. And that's something that's hugely attractive on the pro side, but again, on the youth side, on the college side. How can we minimize the time that a player is off the field? We've seen over time that injuries, ACLs, all sorts of, different injuries that come up on the field, they always have a specific time span in terms of when can I be physically fit to start running again? When can I start running back and forth without an issue? But there's always going to be this extra time after getting back from the injury where a player doesn't have the same confidence as they did the last time they played. So how can we try and minimize the time from full recovery to getting back into the first team, which has been a huge aspect for us as well.
That's actually, for myself, I've had several injuries, several surgeries, so I can see where that can really help in making your transition back to the field, and again, back in the day they didn't have that, so and when I was coming up, and playing, so that is a very unique perspective. But thanks for spending time with me here, and you are our first guest on the USA League show, so that's a premiere here.
Love it. Yeah, hopefully many more to come.
Yeah.
And really, really excited to see how our partnership progresses. And really appreciate you having me on, Kai.
All right. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Thank you.